You're going to the gym, right? And you think it'll make a big difference and you think it'll change your life? Brother, imagine you're going to the gym for an entire year straight, not missing any days, and the physique you have before you went to the gym is absolute filth like this. And then you lift and lift and lift and lift and change your flesh and physique for an entire year straight, and you're slowly building confidence, slowly breaking insecurity, slowly breaking pieces of your past, until one day, precisely on the last and final day of your high school, right? Everyone's leaving, everyone's like signing like the white uniform, the white t-shirts and everything. You're in the bathroom alone, and then some guy enters the bathroom and you're looking in the mirror and you're feeling yourself. Your shirt is like full of guys. You're like, oh, popular guy, whatever. And then you're feeling yourself. And then some guy walks in, not just any guy, a guy who's younger than you, a guy who supposedly respects the seniors, right? Because younger grades usually respect the higher grades. Supposedly this is the case. And then someone walks in and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, feeling yourself. And then he says, nice boobs. That's what an 11th grader said to me on my final day of school, while I had been building myself for an entire year straight, even though I was purely and incredibly insecure of the estrogenic masses on my tits, on my, chest. I slowly started breaking that insecurity, and when you do something slowly and all of a sudden just bash and ram it, you kind of lose a lot of the progress. So I look at him and it's like, I start stuttering just like how I am right now. You mean pecs? I built my pecs, bro. This is from bench pressing. No, I don't mean pecs. I mean boobs. I look at him like, wait, no. He can't be talking about my gyno. He must be making a joke. This is impossible. I've been working so hard. Nice boobs. He keeps on saying it. I'm like, okay, yeah, these are pecs, man. What do you mean? And then he just says the end, like the thing that like literally sets everything in the grave. He says, no, those are not pecs. Those are nipples. And they're puffy and popping out of your shirt. Yep. That entire day disintegrated, destroyed, every single piece of serotonin and happiness floating within my neurons, vaporized instantly. And I was just sitting there, or just walking out of the bathroom with my head and my shoulders slouching and drooping down, defeated. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is that I let that one sentence take complete control over my day, and I felt so insecure, so defeated, and so horrible for the rest of the day. And this is supposed to be one of the greatest days, like your final senior day year. This is one of like your lifetime memories. And for the rest of the day, I just kind of felt a little bit weird and insecure, and kind of hiding my uniform, because I thought, I got over that insecurity and I have some pecs. No. The true worst part though is that your titties and your gyno and your man boobs are forming as we speak. Whether you're lifting and exercising or not, they are forming as we speak. Unfortunately, this is part of a global problem. If you look at the younger generation of boys today, 60% of them, imagine that, 60% of them have a form of gynecomastia, or like this puffy nipple. I even wore this white shirt today, so maybe it can show a little. 60% of them have this problem. You're in a generation in between healthier people, and then in the middle, a bit of a mix, and then a younger generation which mostly has this. You're the generation stuck in the middle of horrible 60% and then a little bit healthier people. But hey, we're healthier now, right? We're healthier than the past. We're healthier than the past, and the past people died are FDA stuff, propaganda. So what's the solution to this growing gynecomastia problem that you will have? Look, I won't give you the stuff that's ridiculously hard, almost impossible to do. Oh, eliminate all of the microplastics from your environment. That's impossible. That's practically, unfortunately, impossible in today's world. Oh, never have a sugar molecule again. This shit is unrealistic. You have a fucking life to live too. If I told you remove all microplastics, you might as well go live in the bottom of the ocean. Oh wait, there's microplastics there. You might as well go live on top of Mount Everest and never see civilization. Oh wait, there's microplastics there. You might as well live in a cabin in the woods. Oh wait. Actually, maybe then... No, there's microplastics there. And at some point, bro, you're gonna have a sugar molecule. Even these carnivore and big doctors that are not brainwashed, that you look up to, they occasionally once a year or something, they'll have a drink or some form of thing. You have a life to live too. I'm not gonna be one of these, oh, never have never touch this. I'm not gonna ever do that to you. But I will make you a promise, and that promise is that I will increase your testosterone by at least 50% and reverse, if not completely stop, your gyno. So the first thing I need to do is see how brainwashed you are, and this is where I see how brainwashed you are, because the first thing I'll tell you to do is massively increase the cholesterol levels in your body. And if you're stopping and thinking, oh wait, no, this is bad for me, heart disease, clogged blood vessels and shit, I don't have time for you. This is where I know you've been long brainwashed and propagandized by the sugar companies. I don't have time to fix you. I'm gonna help the people who aren't brainwashed in this video. So click off already. Now, how do you increase dietary cholesterol? And we'll talk about why. Why? Because cholesterol derives into testosterone, and we're doing a two-step protocol here to reverse your gyno. So you're going to increase your cholesterol, and the best way to do this is by having at least 5. It used to be 4, but the egg quality has significantly decreased. Now it's a minimum of 5 eggs a day. And if you can't do this, then have at least 80% of your diet as beef. Especially add yourself some beef liver within this diet, but really try and have those 5 staples, those 5 eggs a day. And like I said, the reason we're doing this is because cholesterol is what makes testosterone. It's interesting, the sugar companies scapegoated this, which is what makes you healthy. And they said, yeah man, they scapegoated the thing that removes your test levels. It's so interesting. But hey, we have to trust them. And the next thing we do is we need to talk about Mtor, which stands for the mechanistic target of rapamycin. Now, usually this isn't really talked about because it's less hooky, and now you're getting bored. Oh, he's talking science. This science will save your life. Now he's talking science and it's less hooky, and it's a bit of a complicated topic to explain. These little testosterone gurus that literally rob you off of your attention don't know what they're talking about. Mechanistic target of rapamycin, or Mtor, is basically the master switch in your body, and it controls a lot of things like immunity, like cell autophagy, which is cell recycling, and a bunch of other things. But one of the things it controls is how much muscle you build. So what it does is it increases or regulates how sensitive you are to muscle growth. And the best way to upregulate your Mtor is not just to train, but to train in specifically a way that you stretch your muscles so hard. And that means any exercise you pick, it really stretches it, but not just stretch it. You stretch it slowly under a heavy weight. Again, I'll repeat this. That's the most important thing. That's why these guys that are now discovering, oh my god, the best hypertrophy is stretch mediated. Why? Because I've been telling you the best way to do this stuff is heavy stretches, right? And you also go slow with it. So here are a couple of exercises off of the top of my head. You've got pull-ups, you've got preacher curls for biceps, you've got let's say hack squats, or just general squats in general for stretching your legs. Let's say it's your pecs, it's a incline bench press, right, with dumbbells. It's any exercise basically that really stretches your the muscle that we're trying to grow. Or for this case, it's not really muscle, it's more of a whole upregulation of a system in your body. So just incorporate many exercises that have a lot, like a huge stretch, like really stretched seated rows, pull-ups. I already mentioned pull-ups, right? But that's what you're trying to do. And the reason this happens is because Mtor is so sensitive to mechanical tension, right? So when there's so much tension in the muscle and it's being pulled and pulled and pulled, your Mtor is like, okay, we need to upregulate, really increase the muscle growth. But why are we increasing the muscle growth? We're doing it for the sake of increasing the amount of androgen receptors in your body. When my bicep gets bigger, there's more androgen receptors, which means I can actually use the testosterone I made from having those cholesterol bombs earlier, right? So now this is a two-step protocol. I'm increasing the testosterone, but if I don't have enough androgen receptors, it's pointless. So I'm also increasing the amount of androgen receptors within my body. And this combo is what repairs you as a human being, reverses gyno, and just changes everything about your life. Do this for 30 days and I guarantee you your testosterone will increase by at least 50% if you take your blood serum levels and check it out. If you're not one of these brain dead goblin zombies, man, and you take this stuff seriously and you actually want children one day, start biogenesis. Biogenesis increased my testosterone by 300%. 300%. I went from 400 to 1,223 nanograms per deciliter. And if you think this video was helpful, I'll actually put years of knowledge inside of biogenesis, all of it as a big men's health and testosterone protocol. And you find biogenesis along with many other things inside Blackthorn Capital, which not for a lighter load, but for a stronger back.